All right. Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the civic engagement lesson. And so there's 3 steps to this lesson, as you'll see in your folder. So there's 3 assignments that go along with it. And so for this, we're going to start thinking about how we as individuals can start to engage more with our local issues and our local politics. And so the first thing you're going to think about is completing this first assignment. It is a CAMI assignment. You're going to open it up. And it is going to bring you to a reading, which is going to talk a little bit about what you're going to kind of be asked to do. And then there are a couple activities that go along with it as well. So when you read through this part, you're going to see that it's going to be talking a little bit about how do we change the world. So we oftentimes think about, oh, there's so many problems in the world, there's issues in the world. How do we go about changing the world? However, that can seem really daunting. So it can seem really overwhelming. So this is going to talk about how really small scale change and many different types of small scale change leads to large scale change. And so you're going to talk about that. But you are actually going to be choosing an issue. So you're going to choose an issue. It does not need to be a huge one. An issue that maybe is a problem for you or you feel like is a societal problem. And you are going to be given some examples here. But you're going to think about how could I take that issue and even create just a little bit of change in my society or in my community based on that issue. So you are going to start, they give an example here. So once again, a lot of times real world change begins because it's personal to people, because people have a problem, whether that be a big problem or a small problem. And you're going to read about a couple of examples. This first example of Sean. Then you're going to try it out yourself. So you're going to be given an example about Sarah living in this rural community, and you're going to try to articulate what is Sarah's personal motivator, what does she want to do, what does she want to do on an individual scale, the huge scale, and then the local scale. And then what will it take to, and what's her question? And so this is all modeled up above. So you can see in this first scenario, they have done these parts for you. And then you're going to try to do it in this scenario. And then continuing on, you're going to be given a couple other examples. Then you are going to be asked to think about your issue. What issue, what problems do you see? How do you think you can create even some very small change in your community? So you're going to draw something just to get you thinking. You're going to write a short little blurb. Then you're going to articulate, what do you want to do? What kind of change do you want to see? And what is some individual and some huge scale change that you potentially would love to see? And then what does that look like at that local level? I am going to include, if you guys are a little stuck on this, I thought it was already in this document, but I am going to include in the folder just a list, a website that kind of brings you to some ideas of what types of issues or what types of change you might think about. So that's the first assignment. Then the second assignment is going to get you to do a little bit of research on your issue. So you're going to take that same issue that you identified in that first assignment, and you're going to just do some basic research. So you're going to rewrite your information. What do you want to do? What will this look like at the local scale? And then rewrite your basic question. And then find 3 sources. And so last couple of weeks, we've taken a look at sources. How do we identify a good source? So just make sure that when you're looking for sources, you may start with a quick Google search, but you're finding reliable information. You're paying attention to the author or to the organization that is giving that information, and try to make sure that your sources are not really one-sided. Then you're going to write some notes. You should have 10 bullet points for each. You should have 10 bullet points for each. I'm going to write that here, for each source. And you are going to take notes on that. And then you're going to brainstorm a couple possible solutions for your issue. Okay, so that's assignment 2. Then for assignment 3, you're going to go back here, and you are actually going to be writing a letter to a local official. This is not something you have to send, but you do have to practice writing a letter to a local official. So how you might go about change is involving people that may have power in your city. And people who have power in your city might include the elected officials, like the city mayor or the city council members, or potentially school board members if your topic is more school related. So you're going to take a look at the template that I wrote. So I give you an example of how I would go about writing a letter. And in my example, I use a drinking water protection ordinance. And an ordinance, by the way, is a local law. So one of your solutions could be to create a local law that helps the environment, or that helps homelessness, or that helps parks, or whatever it is. And so in this example, I'm asking this council member, so you'd kind of fill in the blank with the council member's name. I'm asking this council member to support a drinking water protection ordinance. So you will be asking a council member or the mayor or a school board member to support your solution to whatever your issue is. So this is really just a template, but you should use it as a way to write yours. So you're going to write in your address, your city, state, and zip, the date. You're going to write down council member or mayor or school board member, and then give them a first and last name. You can actually look up these people in your community, or you could just make one up, and then write your town name and your zip code. And then that first paragraph, you're going to explain why you're writing. In the second paragraph, you're going to make it personal. In the third paragraph, you're going to explain why you're asking for support. And then you're going to thank them for their time, and you're going to write your name. So you write your letter here. And once you have written your letter, you are done with this lesson. So reach out once again. If you have any questions, office hours this week are Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30. All right, have a great day.